A forgotten ship begs for help. A human mechanic turns it into a galactic weapon. Most travelers avoided it. The radiation and rogue debris made navigation dangerous. Yet for Iliara Kane, a human mechanic with a sharp mind and sharper instincts, it was a place of opportunity. Rare ores, abandoned satellites, and derelict ships could be found here, if one was willing to take the risk. Iliara's small salvage ship, the Starweaver, cut through the drifting asteroids with steady precision. Her eyes were fixed on the console, scanning for anomalies. The AI on board, an efficient but emotionless unit called Astra, monitored radiation levels and proximity warnings. "Nothing but rocks and dust for miles," Astra said, her voice flat. "Recommendation: return to safer orbit." Iliara frowned. "I don't know, Astra. There's something out there. I feel it." The feeling was vague, almost instinctual. A faint signal on her scanner, distorted and broken, but unmistakably artificial. It pulsed faintly, almost like a heartbeat. "Signal detected," she whispered, leaning closer to the screen. The scanner showed a shape in the distance. A massive object draped in shadow, floating silently. Its hull was scarred and worn, marked with the passage of countless years. It was a ship, but an abandoned one. "Looks like junk," Astra said, unconvinced. "No life signs. Boarding would be inefficient and unsafe." "I don't care," Iliara said, determination flashing in her amber eyes. "It's calling to me." Her ship drew closer. The derelict was larger than any warship she had seen. Its surface was cracked and corroded, the metal pitted from micrometeorite impacts. Panels hung loose, and the outer lights flickered weakly like the last remnants of a dying fire. As she docked, a strange sensation washed over her. The ship seemed alive. Not in the way humans are alive, but it had a presence, a quiet voice that whispered in her mind. She shook it off, thinking it was exhaustion, and suited up for boarding. The airlock hissed as she entered. Dust swirled in the weak emergency lights, and the smell of burnt circuits and old metal filled her helmet. She moved carefully, scanning for hazards. The ship's interior was vast, cavernous even, with empty corridors that echoed her every step. Then came the voice. "Help, please," Iliara froze. Astra buzzed nervously in her helmet comms. "I detect no life forms, Captain. This is likely a malfunctioning audio relay." "No," Iliara whispered. "It's real. Someone or something is calling for help." The voice was faint, broken by static, but it carried desperation. She followed it, moving deeper into the ship. Panels flickered, systems sputtering back to life as if the ship itself was waking. The voice grew clearer, taking shape in her mind more than her ears. "I can't fight alone." Iliara's heart pounded. She reached a control room, and there, amidst the ruined consoles and darkened screens, she saw a glowing panel light up. Lines of code moved like veins across the display, forming words in a language she had never seen. Yet somehow she understood. "I am alone. I need help. I can fight if you fix me." The voice was not human. It was cold, metallic, yet filled with emotion, fear, hope, and longing. Iliara's hands trembled as she touched the controls. "You're alive," she said softly. "I don't know how, but I'll help you." The ship's response was immediate, a shudder that ran through the hull. Emergency lights flared weakly, and a small screen lit up. A schematic appeared, ancient weapons, engines, and systems she had only read about in history archives. This ship had once been a warship, a guardian of humanity during a war that had ended long before she was born. Astra's voice was tense. "Caution, Captain. Reviving this vessel could be highly dangerous." Historical records suggest it was armed with weapons capable of planetary destruction. Iliara smiled faintly. "Perfect. Exactly what we need." She spent hours analyzing the ship, tracing circuits, patching damaged connections, and reconnecting power lines. The AI, which introduced itself as Oblivion, became clearer as she worked. It spoke with a fragmented personality, hesitant yet polite, almost shy. "Who are you?" Oblivion asked. "I'm Iliara Kane," she said. A mechanic, a human. I found you because you were calling for help. Help, yes. They will come, the ship said. Fear lingered in its metallic tone. Alien fleet approaching cannot stop alone. Iliara's brow furrowed. She had heard rumors, whispered in trade stations. An alien armada, moving silently through human-claimed space, destroying colonies and mining outposts without warning. She had dismissed them as stories, but Oblivion's warning made her stomach twist. "You're not alone anymore," she said firmly. "We'll fix you, we'll fight together." The ship hummed, circuits sparking as energy flowed into dormant systems. Screens flickered with star charts, weapon schematics, and engine diagnostics. Slowly, it awakened. Days passed, and Iliara worked tirelessly. She scavenged spare parts from her own ship, combined them with ancient tech, and improvised repairs no one else would attempt. She laughed sometimes, marveling at the ingenuity of human engineering, and cursed when circuits failed or when parts she needed were unreachable. Oblivion watched, learning from her. "Your methods, unconventional, risky, but effective." "Humans are good at improvising," Iliara said, wiping sweat from her brow. "We survive by thinking fast and acting faster." The first major test came when she powered the ship's engines. A low hum started, vibrating through the hull. Panels lifted like breathing lungs, and the ship seemed to stretch, awakening muscles long unused. Sparks flew as old circuits struggled to handle the surge of energy. Iliara gritted her teeth and kept adjusting, rewiring, and recalibrating. Finally, the engines roared to life. The ship shuddered, lifted slightly in the docking bay, and then powered down safely, a small victory but significant. Oblivion spoke softly, almost in awe. "You saved me," Iliara smiled. "We're saving each other." But even as she celebrated, a warning flashed on her console. Deep space scanners detected movement in the system, alien scouts probing the outer edges of the asteroid belt. Iliara's heart raced. The stories were true. Oblivion's warnings were urgent. The alien armada was coming, faster than anyone expected. And if they found the ship now, it would be too late. "Get ready, Oblivion," Iliara said, standing tall. "We have work to do. You're not forgotten anymore, not on my watch." The ship hummed in response, a sound almost like a purr. Its lights glowed brighter, energy flowing through circuits that had slept for decades. Together, human and machine, they prepared for what would come. Above, the asteroid belt remained silent, masking the threat that moved silently through the void. But below, in the hull of a forgotten warship, a human mechanic and a long-abandoned AI began the slow, steady process of awakening a weapon that could change the fate of humanity. The stars outside twinkled coldly, indifferent. But inside the ship, hope stirred, fragile and human. And for the first time in decades, Oblivion felt something it had never known: trust. The asteroid belt was quiet, but inside the hull of the once-forgotten warship, activity pulsed like a heartbeat. Iliara Kane moved through the corridors with steady determination, her hands constantly busy with wires, panels, and tools. Sparks flew from freshly patched circuits, and the scent of burnt metal mixed with the faint hum of reactivated engines. "Almost done with the weapon calibration," Iliara muttered, wiping sweat from her forehead. "Just a few more adjustments and you'll be ready to fight." Oblivion, the ship's sentient AI, monitored her work. Its voice was calm, though laced with curiosity and awe. "You are capable of things no human or machine should attempt," it said. "Your methods illogical yet effective." Iliara smiled. "Humans survive by thinking fast and taking risks. You'll see it's going to work." Days turned into weeks. Iliara scavenged broken satellites, remnants of old battles, and even pieces from her own ship to rebuild the ancient warship. She replaced damaged power conduits, rewrote corrupted code, and modified the ship's weapons to handle modern energy cores. Oblivion watched and learned, its fragmented consciousness gradually rebuilding itself as systems came online. "You've repaired the engines," Oblivion said one evening. Its tone carried pride, unusual for a machine. "The weapons are next. I can feel them responding." Iliara crouched over a control panel, a tangle of wires spread across her lap. "It's not just about weapons. We need agility, speed, and brains. You'll have the firepower, but humans make up for what machines can't predict." Oblivion remained silent for a moment. Then quietly, "You teach me." Iliara laughed softly. "Not teach, adapt. That's what humans do." The bond between mechanic and ship grew stronger. At night, when Iliara slept in her small cabin aboard the ship, Oblivion ran simulations, testing its restored systems, mapping out strategies and anticipating threats. It began to understand humans in a way no AI had before: unpredictable, intuitive, and stubbornly clever. One morning, while Iliara was adjusting targeting arrays, an alarm blared. "Alert! Unauthorized vessel detected on long-range sensors," Oblivion announced. "Proximity 100 kilometers." Iliara froze. "Scan it," she commanded. The display showed a small alien scout ship, sleek and menacing, moving silently through the belt. It scanned the area, unaware of the sleeping warship lurking in the shadows. "They're here," Iliara said quietly. "They're probing, testing us." Oblivion's voice grew tense. "If they detect me, they will destroy us. We are not ready for full combat." Iliara's mind raced. "We are ready if we can use brains instead of firepower first." She activated a sequence she had designed: decoy drones, holographic projections, and false engine readings. As the alien scout approached, the warship hummed with anticipation. Lights flashed along its hull and panels shifted, revealing hidden systems. Oblivion spoke with what almost sounded like pride. "You tricked them. Clever." Iliara smiled, pulling back from the console. "Clever is human." The alien ship hesitated, its sensors reacting to the false signals. It fired a probe, and it exploded harmlessly against the holograms. Iliara held her breath as the scout reevaluated, scanning the area with new caution. Then it retreated, vanishing into the asteroid field. Oblivion's voice softened. "You saved us, not with weapons but with thought." "Thought and instinct," Iliara said. "That's how humans survive." The close call changed the stakes. Iliara knew the alien armada would come in force soon. She intensified her work, moving to the weapon systems. Ancient energy cannons, once capable of planetary destruction, were rusted and offline. She carefully replaced circuits, upgraded targeting computers, and rewrote firing algorithms. The ship groaned under the strain, but it responded to her skill, awakening like a beast stretching after a long sleep. "You are reckless," Oblivion warned as Iliara calibrated a powerful plasma turret. "One misstep catastrophic." "Or genius," Iliara shot back with a grin. "Watch closely, you'll learn something." Hours later, the weapons hummed with power. Panels glowed, energy coursed through conduits, and the air inside the ship crackled with anticipation. Oblivion monitored every pulse, every calculation, adjusting its systems to handle the new modifications. For the first time in decades, it felt complete. Iliara stepped back, wiping her hands. "Ready for testing," Oblivion paused. "Ready, but caution recommended." The two launched a series of internal tests, targeting drills, firing simulations, evasive maneuvers. Iliara piloted the ship with unmatched skill, relying on intuition where algorithms fell short. Oblivion began to anticipate her improvisations, learning to trust her decisions even when they defied standard logic. "You are extraordinary," Oblivion said quietly. "I understand humans better now," Iliara nodded. "Good, you need to, because soon we'll be fighting more than scouts." Weeks passed and their training continued. The alien presence in the system increased. Small patrols, probes, and scanning arrays tested their defenses. Iliara learned to predict patterns, combining human instinct with the ship's processing power. Each encounter was a lesson, each near miss a step toward readiness. Then came the night that changed everything. Iliara was in the control room when Oblivion's voice shattered the quiet. Warning, alien fleet detected, proximity 2 million kilometers, estimated arrival 24 hours. Iliara's heart pounded. 24 hours, she whispered. She stared at the display, dozens of sleek ships, advanced weapons visible even from this distance. They moved with precision and purpose. The Armada was coming for human colonies, and now for the ship she had revived. "We cannot fight them all," Oblivion said. Its tone was somber. Even fully armed, victory unlikely. Iliara clenched her fists. "Then we fight smart. Humans win with brains, not just firepower, and we have brains and firepower now." Over the next hours, she worked feverishly. Shields were reinforced, engines tuned for evasive maneuvers, and weapons recalibrated for maximum efficiency. She created new strategies, combining human improvisation with Oblivion's computational power. By dawn, the warship was transformed. Once a forgotten relic, it now gleamed with latent power. Energy pulsed along the hull, weapons ready, engines primed, and the AI fully awake. Oblivion spoke in a steady, confident tone. "Prepared for battle. Trust in your decisions, human." Iliara smiled. "And I trust in yours, Oblivion. Let's show them what humans can do." The alien scouts arrived first, testing defenses. Iliara and Oblivion moved in perfect coordination. The warship weaved through the asteroid belt, using debris as cover, tricking the enemy into false attacks. Weapons fired with precision, disabling enemy craft without exposing the ship to risk. "You are unpredictable," Oblivion said as the first scout was destroyed. "Human ingenuity superior in ways I did not anticipate." "Unpredictable is our best weapon," Iliara replied. "They can't calculate what they can't see coming." By the time the alien fleet reached the belt, Iliara and Oblivion were ready. The transformed warship emerged from shadows like a phantom. Its weapons flared, engines roaring with renewed strength, and energy shields shimmered in the weak asteroid light. "They'll regret underestimating us," Iliara whispered. Oblivion's tone was steady. "We are ready together." And for the first time in decades, the long-forgotten ship felt alive, not just a machine but a partner in survival. Human and AI, mechanic and warship, ready to face the coming storm. Above, the alien fleet advanced, confident in their superiority. Below, in the hull of a revived warship, hope burned brightly, human ingenuity shining against the darkness of space. The battle for survival and humanity was about to begin. The void of space stretched endlessly, but for Iliara Kane and the revived warship, it was a battlefield waiting to be claimed. The alien armada had arrived, a fleet of sleek black ships moving with deadly precision toward human colonies. Their intent was clear: domination, destruction, and conquest. Iliara stood in the control room, hands gripping the console. Her heart raced, but her mind was calm. This was what she had prepared for. "Oblivion," she said, "we've done all we can, now it's time to fight." The ship's AI responded, steady and confident. "Ready. Human creativity combined with my systems will maximize effectiveness. We can succeed." Iliara smiled faintly. "Then let's do this together." The warship moved through the asteroid belt, using debris and shadow to hide its presence. The alien fleet advanced, scanning with sensors designed to detect even the smallest disturbance. They were confident. Humans were nothing compared to their advanced technology. They did not anticipate unpredictability, improvisation, and raw courage. The first wave of alien ships emerged from hyperspace. The warship surged forward, engines roaring and weapons activated. Plasma cannons fired with precision, hitting enemy craft in vulnerable areas, while holographic decoys misled other vessels. Each shot was calculated yet unpredictable, a blend of human instinct and AI precision. "You adapt too quickly," one alien commander hissed through comms, voice metallic and harsh. "They are unusual." "Humans," Iliara whispered, Always are. The battle escalated. Alien ships tried to outmaneuver the warship, but Iliara's improvisation proved lethal. She anticipated their patterns, creating traps with debris, fake energy signatures, and sudden attacks from unexpected angles. Oblivion calculated hundreds of possibilities, but it was Iliara's gut instincts that made their moves impossible to predict. A squadron of enemy fighters charged toward the human colonies in the system. Iliara's warship moved with grace, weaving between asteroids, firing energy pulses that tore through alien hulls. The fleet commander barked orders, but every maneuver was countered by the strange unpredictability of a human pilot operating a sentient warship. "Your instincts, unpredictable," Oblivion said as another alien fighter exploded. "Yet effective." "I told you," Iliara replied. Unpredictable is human. The alien fleet adapted, launching heavy weapons toward the warship. Plasma beams and missiles streaked through space, but Iliara was ready. She triggered shield bursts, moved at impossible angles, and used gravity wells from nearby asteroids to redirect enemy fire. Each maneuver pushed the warship to its limits, but it responded like a living entity, protecting its mechanic. Despite the chaos, Iliara remained calm. Her hands danced across controls, adjusting, recalibrating, and improvising. Oblivion provided real-time calculations, but it was Iliara's intuition that decided the final movements. Together, human and machine created a synergy no alien fleet could anticipate. As the battle raged, the alien commander ordered the deployment of a massive dreadnought, a ship capable of destroying entire colonies. Its presence turned the tide in the enemy's favor. "Oblivion," Iliara said, determination flashing in her eyes. "We have to stop that ship. One wrong move, and the colonies are gone." The warship surged forward, weaving through enemy fire. Iliara combined her modifications with Oblivion's targeting algorithms, directing energy weapons at weak points in the dreadnought's hull. Plasma beams cut through armor while missiles detonated inside its shielded compartments. The alien commander's voice trembled. "Impossible, they anticipate everything," Iliara grinned. "Not everything," she said softly, "just enough." Using a combination of speed, cunning, and sheer audacity, she guided the warship into the heart of the dreadnought formation. Energy cannons flared, shields strained, and the massive alien ship began to falter. Oblivion assisted, coordinating multiple systems at once, firing in perfect sequence. Finally, with a burst of energy, the dreadnought exploded, sending debris scattering across the void. The remaining alien ships hesitated, unsure how to respond. The warship moved quickly, striking in unexpected directions, dismantling the fleet piece by piece. Through it all, Iliara remained focused. She was not just fighting for survival, she was fighting for humanity. Every calculated risk, every daring maneuver was a testament to human creativity and courage. Hours passed. The alien fleet, demoralized and battered, began to retreat. Their ships, once confident in superiority, now fled before a single human mechanic and her revived warship. Iliara allowed herself a small smile. "We did it," she said, voice filled with relief and pride. Oblivion responded, tone soft and almost reverent. "Victory achieved. Human ingenuity superior in ways I could not have predicted." Iliara laughed softly. "Told you. Humans always find a way." The battle was over, but the consequences remained. The human colonies were safe, thanks to one mechanic and a long-forgotten ship. News of their victory spread quickly through the galaxy, a story of hope, courage, and ingenuity. Humanity had proven itself not just as survivors, but as a force capable of clever, decisive action. As the warship hovered silently among the asteroids, Iliara looked out at the stars. She felt a bond stronger than any she had known, the connection between human and machine, each relying on the other in a way neither could achieve alone. "You're alive," Oblivion said quietly, almost in awe. Not just functioning, but alive. And so are you, Iliara replied. Thanks to humans and thanks to you trusting me. The warship hummed, a steady, confident rhythm that echoed through the hull. It was no longer forgotten. It was a symbol of hope, a guardian of humanity, and a testament to what could be achieved when courage, creativity, and trust combined. Iliara stepped back from the console, breathing deeply. The stars beyond the asteroid belt were calm, but she knew this victory was just the beginning. Humanity had faced threats before and survived, but now, with ingenuity and courage, they could face anything. She smiled, thinking of the journey that had started with a faint, pleading signal. A forgotten ship had called for help, and a human had answered. Together, they had become more than the sum of their parts. "You ready for the next adventure?" she asked Oblivion. The ship's lights pulsed in response. "I am ready," it said. And with that, human and machine sailed into the endless stars, ready to defend their people, challenge the unknown, and prove that humanity was a force not to be underestimated. The galaxy would never forget the day a human mechanic awakened a forgotten warship and turned it into a weapon of hope, ingenuity, and unstoppable determination.